Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In today's session, we want to look at functions. With me is a question that came in 2022 GCE examinations. This was question 13. So let's see how we can solve this question together. Before we continue, make sure you like the page, invite more people to like the page. Let's dive in. Given that f of x equals x minus 4 and h of x equals 2x plus 3. Find, the first question says h inverse of x, but b, h inverse of 5, but c, h of f of x, but d, this is a bonus which I've just added, says h of f of 2. So let's start with part A. Part A says h inverse of x. So h inverse of x, that's part A. We want to find h inverse of x. So once you see something like this, we mean the inverse of a function. So if I'm talking about the inverse of function h, I will say h inverse of x. If I want you to find the inverse of f of x, I will say f inverse of x, that is the inverse of the function f. If I want you to find the inverse of function g, it will be g inverse of x, and so on and so forth. So how do we find the inverse of a function? Because this is what we are asked to do here, h inverse of x. So this is what you need to do. The focus is on the function h. We know that the function h of x is 2x plus 3. So for us to find the inverse, the first step is to replace h of x by y. So where there's h of x, I'm going to put y. So we now have y equals 2x plus 3. The second step, we simply need to make x the subject of the formula. How do we make x the subject of the formula? First of all, 3 should cross the equal sign. We're going to have y minus 3 equals 2x. To remain with x alone, what do? We divide both sides by 2. There, 2. You can see that the 2's will cancel. We're going to remain with x alone. So in other words, what we now have is x alone is equal to everything there. So x equals y minus 3 over 2. We're almost done. To write down the inverse now, h inverse of x, where there's x, I'll now put h inverse of x equals. Where there's y, I should substitute x. So x goes where there's y. So we're going to have x minus 3 over 2, because our final answer should be in terms of x. So this is how we find the first part, h inverse of x. Part B says h inverse of 5. h inverse of 5. So we now want to look at part B. So h, let's see. So h inverse of 5. So how do we find h inverse of 5? See the relationship between h inverse of 5 and h inverse of x. So in the previous part, we already found h inverse of x, and this was equal to x minus 3 over 2. Now what we have, we no longer have an x there. It's like the 5 has taken the part for x. So it's like x is equal to 5. X is now 5. So we no longer have x there, we have 5. So for us to find h inverse of 5, we just need to substitute where there's x in h inverse of x, we put x. So h inverse, you can see here, I now have a 5. So everywhere where there's x, I should put a 5. So you can see that this x will be substituted by a 5. So I'm going to have 5 minus 3 over 2. So h inverse of 5 is equal to 5 minus 3 is 2. So we're going to have 2 divided by 2. And you can see 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. So therefore, our h inverse of 5 is basically equal to 1. That's the answer. So you need to make sure that this was worked out in a proper way so that you don't get to make mistakes when it comes to the second part. So we now go to part C. But see with me here, but C says h of f of x. H of f of x. So how do we get h of f of x? So now we want to work out part C. So let me write down all the two functions because we now have h of f of x. The two functions have been put together. So f of x is given as x minus 4. And h of x is given as 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3. So when we say find h of f of x, so when I actually ask you to find, here's the thing. When I have the function h of x equal to 2x plus 3, and I ask you to find h of 2, it's like where there is x, I've put 2. So x is more like x is equal to 2. So it means that wherever I see an x, I should put a 2 there. I should substitute with a 2. So I will have something that looks like that. So this will give us a value. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 we're going to get 7. So if I have h of -1, you know what to do. Where there's x, we're going to put -1. Now what if we have a function, the whole function now be substituted there? It's like you have h of x as this, then you have a function f of x, which is 2x. Let's say h of x is 2x. Then I ask you to say find h of f of x. This is basically equal to h of f of x, like that. It was easy for us to work out h of 2. What did we do? Whatever was inside there was being substituted in h, where there's x. So wherever there's x, we are supposed to put what's there. So now, we don't have a certain value, say 2 or 3 or 4. We don't have a number. What we have is the entire function now going where there's x in h. So if we say h of f of x, we mean this entire function should now go where there's x. So like in this case, we know that h of x is 2x plus 2. Let me just make things clear here. We know that h of x is 2x plus 3. Then f of x is 2x. Then if I ask you to find h of f of x, what I mean here is this h of x, f of x should go in h. These are what we call composite functions. These are composite functions. You're not putting two or more functions together. So if you put two functions together, we have something called composite functions. So f of x is the one going in h. So meaning f of x, this is f of x, should go in h, where there's x. So we're going to have h of f of x, like that, equal to, so this one should substitute x. Just like 2 was substituting x there, now here is the entire function substituting x. So f of x should go there. So you can see we have 2. That is h of x. Now we no longer have x here because it's being substituted by f of x. But what is f of x? F of x is 2x. So where there's x, we're going to put 2x. Then what do we have here? Plus 3. And everything else will remain the same there. 2 times that, we're going to have 4x plus 3. So this will give us h of f of x. That's how you work it out. So let's basically use the same idea and find the answer to our problem here. So we want to find h of f of x. So what we should know is, so it's this function should go in h. If it was the other way around, f of h of x, then it is h of x that should go in f. But here, f of x will go in h. So we're going to have, let me even use this red ink. So we're going to have, we know that h of x is 2x plus 3. will be 2. Now where there's x here, we are putting f of x. So what is f of x? This is f of x. F of x is x minus 4. So I'm going to put x minus 4 there. But we have what? Plus 3. All we need to do here now is simplify. So we're going to have 2 times x, because 2 multiply everything there, that will give us 2x. 2 times negative 4, that will give us negative 8. Then we have plus 3 there. And what do we have? 2x, negative 8 plus 3, that will give us negative 5. So basically this is the answer to this question, h of f of x. We go to part D. Part D is super easy because everything has been worked out. Part D says find h of f of 2. H of f of 2. So part D says find h of f of 2. H of f of 2. So we are finding h of f of 2. So you can see that what you have here is h of f of x. This is the answer to the previous question. H of f of x. You can see the similarity between these two. So this is h of f of x. We now want to find h of f of 2. So you can see that 2 is now going where there is x, because everything here is the same. So where there is x, you are putting 2. So what do we start with? We start with h of f of x. We already know what h of f of x is. So h of f of x is basically equal to 2x minus 5. Now what we've done there, we've put a 2. So it's like everywhere where there's x, we should put a 2. So we're going to have h of f of 2, like that, equals 2, where there's x, we should put 2 there, minus 5. So it's just a matter of simplifying now. So you can see 2 by 2, that will give us 4, minus 5. So basically the answer will be negative 1. So this is how you are supposed to do this question. I have another method that you can use for this. You want to find h of f of 2. So let me just use the other marker in the other screen here. Okay, so what we know is h of x is 2x plus 3. F of x is x minus 4. The question says find h of f of 2. Let's save the answer. The answer to the previous question was negative 1. So we want to find h of f of 2. We can first of all start with this. We know that this should go in there because these are composite functions. So we can first of all start with f of 2. So f of 2, how can we find f of 2? F of 2, you can see that we are going to use this function here for us to find f of 2. So where there's x, we are putting 2. So f of 2, here we put 2, so it will be 2 minus 4. So f of 2 will basically give us negative 2. That is f of 2. But the question says h of f of 2. So because the question says h of f of 2, you want to find h of f of 2. We now know what f of 2 is, because f of 2 is negative 1. So this entire thing here, we can write this as h of, instead of saying h of f of 2, we'll just say h of negative 2, because negative 2 is f of 2. So because we now know that this entire thing reduces to h of negative 2, what can we do to h of negative 2? H of negative 2 simply means you're getting negative 2, then putting it where there is x in h. So we can do that super easy, because we already know what h of x is. So we know that h of x is 2x plus 3. We now want to find h of negative 2. So h of negative 2 will be equal to 2, negative 2 plus 3. This will give us negative 2 times 2, that will be negative 4 plus 3. And this will give you negative 1, which is similar to what we got in the previous method. So this is what we have for you today. We'll see you in the next video.